Hi, friends. Mr.
Hello.
Bryan here. My pronouns are he and him. And over here somewhere is,
I'm Miss Madison, and my pronouns are she and her.
and we are in week 10 of our drama time together. Week 10.
Wow.
I cannot believe it. It's crazy.
It's
It
flown
is
by.
is in fact loco. Last week we talked about tech and design and all the elements of building the world of our play and all the departments, light, sound, sets, props, costumes, the importance of the stage manager. Just a reminder, very important. Um, Go get them a gift basket, gift gasket. That sure, that too. This week we are talking about constructive feedback and talking specifically about how we give feedback to fellow actors in the rehearsal process as we're going along. And we're going to talk more about that, but also making sure it's in a safe way, in an appropriate way, and in a way that is asked, because yeah, all things that are important, we want to show respect and courtesy to all the people that we're working with and watching as well as an audience. All right, but before we do that, drama is all about telling the story using the how many? Three tools of the actor. Numero uno, body. Do it with me.
Body.
Body.
Oh, sorry. Body.
Number two, voice.
Voice.
And number three, imagination.
Imagination.
Yup. And we use all those three tools together, working as an ensemble. I cheated. I went ahead to work together and create the work with the story and create. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we do. But before we move on and before we warm up, I want to check in with how we're feeling today. So, really important. Clap your hands together. Well, that woke me up. Rub your hands together. Warm them up, nice and fast, nice and fast, and faster, 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 and open them up and feel that ball of energy in front of you. Feel that ball, feel that energy, and form it into a ball, I should say. And focus on the energy ball that you're creating, that you're forming in front of you. Don't worry about looking at me. And once you have that energy ball formed, some of ours will be big, ours will be small. Some of us will be reminded how dry our hands are because of washing so much. That's okay too. And take that energy and put it where you need it. Put it where you need it. I need some in my neck, especially today. And take that energy and just glide it over your body to where you need it. And once you put it where you need it, take a breath and slow down if you're moving too fast, like Mr. Bryan. Take that energy and distribute it to where you need it to create that focus as well, and take that same focus and give laser eyes on Miss Madison.
Awesome. That was really relaxing. I liked that. All right, now let's get our energy up with a little bit of a warm up. First thing, everybody take a big deep breath in and a big deep breath out. One more time. Reach your hands up to the sky. Stretch, 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 stretch. Get as tall as you possibly can. Drop just your fingers. Leave everything else up. Boop. Drop just your hands. Leave everything else up. Boop. And drop just your everything except your shoulders. Here we go. And wear your shoulders as earrings. Look at my earrings. Deep breath in. Squeeze everything. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make your face really small. Squeeze, 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 squeeze more. And let it go with a noise. Very nice. That felt really good. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And exhale. Very nice. Now we're going to reach up to the sky one more time. We're going to lean over to the left. We're going to lean over to the right. And then we're going to say, hey. Say, oh, nice. All right. That was just for fun. Just for funsies. Everybody take a crayon from out of nowhere. Thank you. And strap it to your head. Think about what color your crayon is as you draw circles on the ceiling. Circles on the ceiling. And go the other way. And break your cans or take your crayon off, break it in half, strap it to your shoulders, and draw circles on the walls. Circles on the walls. Ooh, ow, Miss Madison's shoulders are tight. And draw circles forward. Make them really small, really small. And turtle. Very nice. Take your crayons off. Throw them away. Get out of here, Grams. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Awesome. Puff your chest out. I'm going to scoot back. Puff your chest out like you are a superhero. And bring it in like you are a nasty little supervillain. And superhero. Supervillain. superhero, supervillain, superhero, supervillain, superhero, supervillain. And wipe that off. All right, very nice. Out of nowhere, take a basketball and dribble. Dribble, 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 dribble. And switch. Dribble, 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 dribble. In between your hands really fast. Boing, 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 and really slow. Boing, 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 boing. Normal speed. Between the legs. How good at basketball are you? Nice. Catch that basketball. Throw it up in the air. And we're going to count down from 5 as it falls down. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Catch it. Using all of your superhero strength, you're going to crush it. You can chew a gumball. Pop it in your mouth. Give me 3 nice big chews. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And deep, little bubble. Medium bubble. Big bubble. And pop it. And say, oh no.
Oh no.
It's all over me.
It's all over me.
Get it off, 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 get
Get
it
off,
off,
get off,
get
get
it
off.
off, get it off, get it off, and crumple that gum up really tall and flick it away. Goodbye, gum. I'll see you never. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And now let's warm up our voice. We have warmed up our body and our imagination plenty. So here we go. Let's warm up our voice. Repeat after me. Bubba.
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 Bubba. Bubba. Bubba. Bubba.
Bubba. Bubba. Bubba. Bubba.
Da-da.
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 Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Fa-fa.
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 Fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa.
Fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa-fa.
Gaga.
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 Gaga. Gaga. Gaga.
Gaga.
Ha ha.
Uh-huh.
Ha ha.
Uh-huh.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha.
Mama.
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 Mama. Mama. Mama. Mama.
Mama. Mama. Mama. Mama.
Na-na.
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 Na-na-na-na-na-na.
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
Papa.
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 Papa. Papa. Papa. Papa.
Papa. Papa. Papa. Papa.
Sisa.
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 Sisa. Sisa. Sisa.
Vava.
Viva.
Vava.
Viva.
Vava. And Miss Madison's personal favorite. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Awesome. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're going to pull our hands together, crush, take all of your energy, crush it. Deep breath in. You're going to push it out. Deep breath in. And let it sprinkle all around you. And laser focus back to Mr. Bryan wherever he is. I'm recording. He's there. I know.
Awesome. All right, friends. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure I pull this up exactly because I don't want to say words. I want to
I'm
get
going to pull
this.
it up.
Cool. Excellent, excellent. And I'm going to move a thing on my screen and you are going to hear about it. Let me move. Oh, that's weird. There we go. You're experiencing this in real time with me, friends. All right. So when we talk about feedback, what we have in front of us, and you should have this attached as well, but if not, please follow along. And you could feel free to pause at any time to take a look at this worksheet, this rubric as well. And this rubric is all about how we give feedback in the rehearsal process. Now, before rehearsing for the day, we want to go through this actual rubric where we talk about how we actually give feedback and point out how it calls back to the different lessons that we've had before, including body, voice, and how we create a character through that. Now, say this from the very beginning. Feedback is not about we want to give feedback in the sense that it's not about how do I say this? I'm stumbling over my words, but we're not going to pause recording.
Everyone, that's okay. Everyone is doing work that deserves to be applauded and appreciated. And the feedback is just a way to let other people know how their work is seen, what they're showing others. It's not a time for me to be like, Mr. Bryan, I don't like the way you act. I think you're a bad actor. I think blah, blah,
Oh,
blah. Because then Mr. Bryan is hurt. His feelings are hurt. So it's not
yeah.
a time to be insulting people. It's a time to be supporting people, lifting each other up, and helping those people out. Because we are an ensemble. That's what we do.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Madison. And especially with feedback, it's more about seeing what's there and seeing the good and just helping the other person recognize it and even enhance it even more. So if you see we're going to go through this, but if you see something like a walk, pointing that out helps the actor also know that, that's something that's really standing out for them. Or if you see a gesture, if they're doing it, it's reinforcing the work that they're doing as well. So it's even making it clearer. So that way the person understands what's happening and how they're presenting it to the audience. Because sometimes it's good to have perspective. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Understanding that the work that we're doing is seen and is clearly given to the audience, I want to say. Ms. Madison, you said it better. But let's go through the rubric in that and of itself. All right. So first thing we have is we're going to have a chance to go through this, but if you're watching someone, you would choose an actor, or maybe someone else is watching you, or you're watching someone else. You would choose the actor that you're watching, and you would take, let's say, the body, and you would choose one aspect of it. It could be the character walk. We've talked about this before in our Le Bon movement. We have light and heavy movement, direct or indirect movement. And you might ask yourself, what is the choice that this person is making? You might also have, in another category, gestures to support expression. How would they be doing certain gestures to convey the message or the emotion?
And I think,
In,
Mr. Bryan, we can check off any of the ones that they're showing.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, we have the idea of, well, again, what we talked about, pantomime or tableau. They might make a specific choice as far as maybe they create a tableau to convey an image in that moment. Now, whichever of those three you might check off in the moment as you're watching this specific person, you might give a little bit of feedback about what you see. Maybe if it was clear, maybe it's something that you liked about it. Because sometimes the nice part about this is people surprise you, and you might see something that you would never expect it, a choice. And if you might write that down, and it might inspire you to also make a different choice as well, or to think outside the box, or to use our imagination to consider different ideas and different views, different styles that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before. And now we also have voice. So as we're going through, you might also identify a character voice that someone has decided, a choice that someone has made, whether it be from the belly, chest, nose, or head. You might also have subtext or meaning, basically meaning maybe there's a particular moment where they use their voice to convey a different meaning beneath the words or subtext, or just the choice of volume that they use. It could be a whisper, it could be everyday voice, it could be accentuated or exaggerated, however they use it, and just explain what you saw and what you liked about it in that particular moment. Yeah. Miss Madison, do you want to play with this and just see an example of it?
Yeah. So, yeah, friends. So, see an example.
Sure. Just
Sure, great.
yeah.
So Mr. Bryan is going to do one of the lines from. So we'll just give you an example. Mr. Bryan's going to do one of the lines from Mufaro's beautiful daughter. Okay, daughters. Excuse me. He has two. And he is going to be. He is going to be Minyara. Okay. And so he's going to say the line, "Someday, Nyasha, I will be a queen and you will be a servant in my household." And I'm going to look. Do you need the line one more time, Mr. Bryan?
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, he's got it. He's a pro, you guys. Mr. Bryan's a professional.
Yeah.
And, and I'm going to look at the feedback rubric. All right. And so I'm going to look and say, body, Okay, so I'm gonna be watching for. I'm gonna write Mr. Bryan, then I'm gonna be watching for it, is he using a character walk? Is he using gestures to support the expression? Clear tableau or pantomime. This is a lot to ask for in one line, so we might not get all of them, and that's okay. Character voice, subtext meaning, all that stuff. So, Mr. Bryan, are you ready?
Yeah, and I wanted to add one last thing as I'm jumbling through my thoughts here, because what day is it? It's Wednesday. I just remembered that, and I just want to make sure I'm focused here as well. I don't know what that was about, but I wanted to say that you can focus on one particular aspect at a time. You don't have to worry about all six from the two different categories. You could focus one at a time, and if that's what you want to work on as you're watching, that's fine. If you want to do them all at once, whatever works best for you is what I'm trying to say. But yes, Miss Madison, I'm ready.
And friends, the more experience you have and the more practice you get, then you're gonna just be doing all six of these things without thinking about it. Yeah. So when we're just starting out as actors, we're worried about like, what are my hands doing, and like, what is this, and blah 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 blah. And once you're a pro like Mr. Bryan, you're just kind of doing it. They all just, maybe 5 or 6 of them just kind of happen naturally because you're just, that good of an actor. And you will be too. You gotta practice.
Miss Madison,
All right.
I'm sorry. Because you said that. No. I complete sincerity. I don't know about you, but for me in particular, I don't know if anyone else is like this. I'm in my head and thinking a lot, and I want to get everything done all at once. I want to get it right away.
Mm-hmm.
The thing you have to appreciate about the work in general, is that the more you do it, like you're saying, Miss Madison, the more it just comes naturally. So just take it at the pace that you want to take it, and it'll just come. Just soak it in at your own pace, because it'll happen and it'll just become instinct, like Miss Madison said after a while. But I went off on a tangent. Go ahead, Miss Madison.
That's okay. I loved it. Do you need the line again? You got it?
Someday, Nyasha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And now, friends, we are the audience. We sit and we watch.
Someday, Nyasha, I will be queen, and you be a servant in my household. Thank you.
Friends, a brilliant performance. So let's go back to this feedback rubric here, and we can give Mr. Bryan some feedback. So I'm going to write, I am watching Mr. Bryan. I saw, now see, since he wasn't moving, I didn't really see a character walk, but that's okay. I did see a character. He was very physically light and very indirect because he was very, flippant of other people. I definitely saw gestures to support expression. I didn't necessarily see a clear tableau or pantomime, but that kind of wasn't the instruction. So I definitely saw all of that. And in the comment section, I would write, Mr. Bryan really showed that he was above, that he felt that he was above Nyasha, or nice Yasha, mean Yara, there we go. Above Nyasha by kind of pulling back away and really using his hands to, shoo her. Okay. The voice, I definitely heard a character voice. It was a little bit of a mix between like chest and nose, and definitely saw some subtext and meaning with, I'm better than you. That's what I was seeing. And I definitely saw some volume. There was changes in volume. So in the comment section, I would write, Mr. Bryan really showed how confident Manyara is in herself as he used his voice. And friends, that's it. Super, super easy. So what we're gonna do, stop sharing. What we're gonna do, one more round of applause for Mr. Bryan. That was beautiful. Okay, so what we're gonna do, friends, is we are going to rehearse. We're gonna go through, I think we'll just do half of it, and we'll do half of it next week, and then we'll do the whole thing because it's long. So we're gonna go through the first half of our performance. Remember, this is super easy. Pick a character, and then follow my instructions. I might not be giving all the instructions in detail as I did the first time because it's not a blocking rehearsal, it's like a run. So if you want to go back and watch those other videos, please do that, and you can just skip through to the parts where we have rehearsal. So, Mr. Bryan, are we ready?
Ready.
Great. All right, Mr. Bryan, what character are you going to be?
I think I'm going to be Manyara. It took me a second to remember. Manyara is, yeah.
Nice. And I'm going to narrate, so I'm going to be everybody. But here we go. And friends, if at any point you feel there'll be sometimes remember where I'm like, okay, we're all going to do this. But the characters you can pick from are Manyara, the mean sister, Nyasha, the really nice sister, Mufaro, the father, and Nyoka, who is a snake at the beginning and then is a king. Then there's also the old woman, the little boy, maybe some others. We'll find out. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Miss Madison, sorry,
Yes, Mr.
real quick,
Bryan.
sorry, before we even,
Go.
if you're not sure, what should we do? Like in general, is it okay to just have a movement as long as you're following along?
Oh, of
Because,
course.
you know,
Yes, of course, friends. I will tell you when, as I'm narrating, I'm basically just telling you what to do because you just act it out, right? You're just pantomiming. The only thing we need to remember is that whenever your character's name is said, you want to freeze in a really sharp tableau as that character so that we know that person is playing whoever. Nice. Okay. Mufaro's Beautiful Daughters by John Steptoe. Here we go. A long time ago, in a certain place in Africa, a small village lay across a river and half a day's journey from a city where a great king lived. A man named Mufaro lived in this village with his 2 daughters, who were called Manyara and Nyasha. Everyone agreed that Manyara and Nyasha were very beautiful. Manyara, the mean one, was almost always in a bad temper. She teased her sister whenever their father's back was turned, and she had been heard to say,
someday, Nyasha, I will be queen and you will be a servant in my household.
very nice. And then Nyasha's, we're not going to say this whole line, we're going to act it out. We're being very calm, very nice. If that should come to pass, Nyasha responded, I will be pleased to serve you. But why do you say such things? You are clever and strong and beautiful. And then we are going to say Nyasha's, why are you so unhappy? Because no, Manyara, you're really ticked off. Okay. Because everyone talks about how kind you are and they praise everything you do, Manyara replied. I'm certain that father loves you best. But when I am a queen, everyone will know. Sorry, there's a typo. Everyone will know that your silly kindness is only weakness. There. Nyasha was sad that Manyara felt this way, but she ignored her sister's words and went about her chores. Now I want everyone to show me different chores that you might think would be like on a farm, and I'm going to go through and you can be kind of farming, showing me a pantomime of any of those chores. Nyasha kept a small plot of land on which she grew millet, sunflowers, yams, and vegetables. She always sang as she worked, and some said it was her singing that made her crops more beautiful than anyone else's. One day, Nyasha noticed a small garden snake resting beneath a yam vine. And you're going to say this line, good day, little Nyoka.
Hey, little Nyoka.
She called to him, you are welcome here. You will keep away any creatures who might spoil my vegetables. She bent forward, gave the little snake a loving pat on the head, and then returned to her work. From that day on, Nyoka was always at Nyasha's side when she tended her garden. It was said that she sang all the more sweetly when he was there. Mufaro knew nothing of how Manyara treated Nyasha. Nyasha was too considerate of her father's feelings to complain, and Manyara was always careful to behave herself when Mufaro was around. Early one morning, a messenger from the city arrived. This is when we trumpet. Everybody goes. The great king wanted a wife. And show me your everybody be the messenger. Show me your messenger pose or pantomime, yeah. The most worthy and beautiful daughters in the land are invited to appear before the king, and he will choose one to become queen, the messenger proclaimed. Mufaro called Manyara and Nyasha to him. It would be a great honor to have one of you chosen, he said. Prepare yourselves to journey to the city. I will call together all our friends to make a wedding party. We will leave tomorrow as the sun rises. But my father, Manyara said sweetly. So now Manyara's being really like, she's kind of lying to try and get her way. So what does that look like? It would be painful for either of us to leave you, even to be the wife of the king. I know Nyasha would grieve to death if she were parted from you. And then Manyara's, you're going to say, I am strong. Send me to the city.
I am strong. Oh, no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. I am strong. Send me to the city.
And let poor Nyasha be happy here with you. Mufaro beamed with pride. The king has asked for the most worthy and the most beautiful. No, Manyara, I cannot send you alone. Only a king can choose between two such worthy daughters. And Mufaro's, you're going to say, both of you must go.
Both of you must go.
Very nice. That night when everyone was asleep, everybody show me. Okay. Manyara stole quietly out of the village. She had never been in the forest at night before, and she was frightened, but her greed to be the first to appear before the king drove her on. In her hurry, she almost stumbled over a small boy who suddenly appeared, standing in the path. And everybody besides Manyara, we're going to be the little boy. Please, and you're going to say, please, I am hungry. And Mr. Bryan, you don't have to do this because you're Manyara. Please, I am hungry. Will you give me something to eat? And Manyara, you're going to wave him away as she says, I have brought only enough for myself, Manyara replied. But please, said the boy, I am so very hungry. Out of my way, boy. And Manyara, you're going to say, out of my way, boy.
Out of my way, boy.
Tomorrow I will become your queen. How dare you stand in my path? Very nice. We'll do one more and then we'll call it. Okay. After traveling for what seemed to be a great distance, Manyara came to a small clearing. There, silhouetted against the moonlight, was an old woman seated on a large stone. The old woman spoke. I will give you some advice. Excuse me. Miss Madison, that's not a good old woman voice. I will give you some advice, Manyara. Soon after you pass the place where two paths cross, you will see a grove of trees. They will laugh at you. You must not laugh in return. Later, you will meet a man with his head under his arm. You must be polite to him. How do you know my name? How dare you advise your future queen? Stand aside, you ugly old woman. Let's have Manyara say that. Stand aside, you ugly old woman.
Stand aside, you ugly old woman.
Very nice ad-lib. Manyara scolded and then rushed on her way without looking back. Almost there, almost halfway. Here we go. Just as the old woman had foretold, Manyara came to a grove of trees, and they did indeed seem to be laughing at her. Everybody show me trees laughing at Manyara. A pantomime. I must be calm, Manyara thought. I will not be frightened. She looked up at the trees and laughed out loud. And you're going to say this, Manyara's, I will laugh at you, trees.
I will laugh at you, trees.
She shouted and she hurried on. It was not yet dawn when Manyara heard the sound of rushing water. The river must be up ahead, she thought. The great city is just on the other side. But there, on the rise, she saw a man with his head tucked under his arm. Manyara ran past him without speaking. A queen acknowledges only those who please her, she said. And as Manyara, you're going to chant as you run toward the city, I would be queen, I would be queen.
I would be queen, I would be queen, I would be queen.
Very nice. And friends, that is Act 1. We will stop there and we will pick up next week. So it would be awesome if you had somebody that you could ask for feedback from. You can write feedback. We want to practice writing feedback. So you can write feedback on either myself, or Mr. Bryan, or any parts that we played. Or you can have somebody in your household watch you do it and watch you rehearse and write feedback for you.
Sounds great, Miss Madison.
Thank you.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, as usual, if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, or you want to share anything and send it to us, please do so. But otherwise, we will continue this conversation about feedback and rehearsal into next week, and also everything that we worked on. So, yeah, great work. So put your hand in the middle, and I want you to say feedback on 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, feedback. All right, friends, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
And bye.